All right, guys, we got a really good video. Something I've noticed is my electricity bill has gotten higher and higher. I saw this video pop up and I wanted to share this with you guys. It's from Steve James. The original video will be linked in the description, of course. Check out his channel. It's titled, Why Your Power Bill Has Doubled. Hidden Costs Going to Cover Data Centers. And let's give like the actual definition of a data center. I'm sure all of you know what it is. But just in case one or two of you watching don't, I'll read a general, definition. A data center is a physical facility that houses an organization's critical IT infrastructure, such as servers, storage, and networking equipment to store, process, and manage large volumes of data and run applications. It's actually a physical facility. Let's get into this real quick. Check this one out, guys. It's interesting, and I've noticed it myself.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. If you were following some of the most recent videos that I've done, you've noticed that we're talking about the unaffordability of living in America, where it is getting to a point where people are becoming just desperate. Desperate to try and find ways to save money, and it's becoming very apparent to most people that you're not going to be able to cut enough costs really to live. Some of this comes down to finding ways to get to the source of just what on earth is going on to cause all of this. Because there is an explanation for everything, and everybody has varying opinions on what it is. Some of my digging into it, looking into it, researching has uncovered a number of different things that often just aren't talked about. This particular video, we're going to talk about how people are basically getting wiped out by their power bills. Now, for those of you that are in certain states like New York, Georgia, California, a number of states in particular, but every state I think is feeling the pinch, you're noticing that people's power is getting cut off at an alarming rate. And if you dig into the numbers, which I encourage you to do on any video that I put up, go take a look for yourself. Look at the statistics and confirm and see what you find out. But people's power is being cut off at an alarming rate because they simply can't handle the increased rates. Way more.
Before he goes much further, I've definitely noticed I'm never home. I'm up early. I'm off to work. I'm running errands after work. I'm at the gym after work. I literally come home to eat and sleep. And my electricity bills just continuously get higher and higher, like ridiculously higher. In fact, my last bill, I actually had a copy of it. What did I do with it? It was around $500 and some dollars, and I'm in a one-bedroom apartment by myself. Never home. It was over $500. Insanity. Welcome to Seattle.
More so than at many points in the past. People's power bills are actually doubling, and they're beginning to notice that there are additional surcharges and all sorts of additional things on there that with enough digging, we've begun to discover that data centers in many states that are now just being built all over the place, basically huge amounts of power going into these places are being subsidized by tax dollars. So we're helping to certain degrees, pay for these data centers. Well, how does that affect your power bill? We're also contributing money every single month, many of us, through our power bill, through the increased charges and prices to help keep these places powered and keep them up and running. We're talking about Google, Meta, and a number of other companies that are using this, everybody all the way down to TikTok. We're talking about massive amounts of power that are creating real problems for people just being able to keep the grid in their state up and running. Power outages being caused by this, rolling brownouts, just the damage that it's doing to the infrastructure simply because our power grids can't handle the amount of power that is being drained by these data centers. Now, I realize the data centers are basically what keeps everything afloat in many ways when it comes to the internet. when it comes to just internationally being able to communicate with each other. So to a certain degree, yes, I get that. But at the same time, these giant corporations, these mega corporations that are doing all of these things are finding ways to very sneakily pass the buck to us in ways where they're not even providing a service, but we're paying for it.
Isn't that ridiculous? I hope that makes your blood boil. Makes my blood boil. I'm not even the slightest bit surprised, though. Just the amount of treacherousness, scandalism. It's just, it's unmatched.
One way or another, we're paying for it. And people have begun noticing that. And I've looked at a number of different people's posts, places where they've just flat out revealed what they took their whole power bill and put it right up online. And you could see where the additional charges were coming from. And with enough digging and research, it became abundantly clear we are helping fund them out of our own personal dollars going into the power company to keep these places afloat. I was not completely aware of this. I had my suspicions based upon some other articles. And as I said before earlier in the video, feel free to dig into this and go do the research for yourself and find out if there's even more to this. Many of you like to go back and kind of dig into it, and I encourage you absolutely to do so. But also, I'm wondering how many of you have noticed this massive increase in your power bill, have noticed additional surcharges, have been digging into it, researching it, and trying to find out where in the world this extra money is going. Because people across the board, I keep hearing doubled and even more than doubled. It was like having a mortgage or a new car note that they had to pay on top of everything. I've also heard people kind of respond back and say, well, these huge data centers, that's going to be a source of job creation in these states. And independent research from a couple of different places. And as I said before, always go back and double check for yourself if you have any question about this. But 90 to 95% of the jobs that are going to be created by the data centers are actually remote jobs that won't go to local people living in the state. They're going to go to people all over the world. This is not going to do job creation locally and actually help the local economy there and actually really change much of anything. It'll just drain from the local economy and the money will be going right out of state.
Again, I'm going to link this original video down below in the description. Check it out for yourself. But I had this pop up and it was perfect timing because I personally have noticed my electric bill gotten ridiculously high, and I can't pinpoint why that is. It made no sense to me. Also, another thing I've always found funny is everything today. It's like, at least in my area, it's like mandatory to have super high efficiency this and low wattage that and super clean energy this and blah, blah, blah that. Yet your electric bill is higher and higher and higher. In my city, all the streetlights now have gotten so weak, they might as well not even be on. Like, you'll drive at night. I don't know where you guys live. Let me know if it's like this where you are too. But you can drive at night and you can't even see anything. The streetlights don't even hardly make it to the concrete. The streetlights don't even make it to the ground. They don't light up anything. They've like gone through and replaced all the high intensity bulbs with just weak, low wattage crap that's almost not even worth having on. It doesn't even light up the streets. I swear when I was a kid, the roads were lit up a lot more. Am I crazy? Is that just some kind of rose-colored glasses syndrome where I'm looking back and I feel like the street lights actually lit the ground up a lot more? I swear now they don't. The street lights are just like an annoying light in the sky that don't really do anything. Everybody has their high beams on now because they can't see, and the high beams blind me, and it's just a screwed up situation. I'm willing to bet if you go down the rabbit hole that he's talking about, you'll probably find some very frustrating and disturbing stuff. I'm pretty fed up, but with all the scandalism, that I see, it doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me one bit. But I wanted to share this video because I personally have noticed my bill going higher and higher and higher, and I'm never home. Nothing's really on. Everything that I do have is super low wattage. So I just find it funny. I thought it was a little bit suspicious, to say the least. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Like this video. If you did like this video, make sure to check his video out. Give his channel a look. I think it's a good channel from what I've seen. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And if you have already, make sure that you're still subscribed. Till next time, God bless. Be well. I'm out.